Yes, it is. Hello, Wednesday. How are you tonight? How are you doing today? What are you? Yes, you grateful for this Wednesday? You know, what is happening in your world? What are you grateful for? I want to know. Hey, Angela, great to have you here live tonight. Welcome. What are you grateful for this Wednesday night? Tell me about your day and what you are grateful for. That's what we want to know, everybody. Can't believe it is Wednesday, the 21st of July. We are heading into the final third. We are in the final third of July. The final third. The final third. I guess that's the final countdown. But hey, you know, whoever said I was supposed to sing on this show? I'm not. I'm not supposed to sing. I am not supposed to sing. That is not the kind of entertainment that I provide. Or not provide well, anyways, if I'm providing it. But tell us about your day, everybody. On this Wednesday, the weather was a little bit more mild today, a little nicer today. Although I never saw anything but that desk today. I barely saw up from the desk today is basically the way my day went. Not a bad day, but just that is where my day kept me today. Is right at that desk, working on a bunch of things. Working on some exciting things, actually. Working on some exciting things today. So that was, well, it was exciting. Exciting, people. Exciting as we get the things off the ground tonight on this Wednesday. You know what else it is? It's Hump Day. Hump Day, people. You are making it over that hump. Over the hump. Yes, we are on week 70-71 here. Week 70-71 is where we're at. That is where we're at. Yes, isn't it great that mamas have some extra spending money? It is going to do wonders. It is going to do wonders for people's lives. This is money they get anyways, Angela. I mean, this is part of people are. It's a yin yang. People next year, and they don't really. People live in the now, so they don't know really that they're going to get a smaller tax refund next year. And they're still going to get a tax refund if they normally get a big tax refund every year. They're still going to get a tax refund. It's just going to be smaller because they're getting this money each and every month. But instead of going crazy with that money and having some big one-time purchase, people are able to use it for meaningful things and spread it out throughout the year because people stink at budgeting. People stink at it. And so this is going to help people, if they had gotten that money at tax time and spread it all across the year, you'd have the same effect. But the way the government's doing it is actually really good. And I look forward to a healthy discussion with members of Congress this fall when we talk about when they talk about whether this should continue or not, because that's going to be a big issue probably as we head into Thanksgiving. I mean, as we head into Thanksgiving, October, November, it's going to be a big issue. If they do something to extend it before Thanksgiving, if it becomes too political, too partisan, and nothing happens with it. But right now, this is a good thing. It's good for everybody. And it's going to lift people up. I really think this is going to help lift people up. We are broadcasting tonight on both Facebook and YouTube. If you're having any problems with Facebook, you can hop right on over to YouTube. Cassandra's got the link there in the comments. So it is there for you. It is. It is. Well, let's get ourselves started here tonight with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start this program every night. Every night, that's where we go to, our go-to place to kick things off. And tonight is no different. Tonight, we're on page 60. Page 60, if you're following along in the book. Good morning, friendos. Make good choices. Listen to your inside voices. Well, hey, that's a heck of a good morning. That's a heck of a good morning. It is, it is. Oh, what have I got here for you tonight? I got a few things to talk about tonight. I do. And not there. I don't know what's going on with Facebook, Adele. I don't know what's going on. Back on the old iPhone so you could comment. But I'm glad you and Dazzle are here because Dazzle needs to know it's treat time, Dazzle. It is treat time. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Facebook the last couple nights. I think it wants me to buy a new phone is really what it's coming down to. It doesn't like that I'm on an old iPhone. I can't keep up with Facebook, and I had a whole big social media conversation today, so I can't keep up with what's happening with it or how to do it. That's not my thing. But I'm sorry that it's creating such a headache for everybody the last couple nights. We'll see if we can figure anything out. Maybe there's an update that I don't have yet. There are two types of decisions. Our quote from Simon tonight. Is there are two types of decisions. Good decisions and lessons learned. Two types of decisions. Good decisions and lessons learned. Don't let indecision get in your way, people. Don't let indecision get in your way. That's what I'm telling you. Wilson Sporting Goods. Wilson Sporting Goods has opened its first physical store ever. The 108-year-old company opened its first ever store in Chicago, its hometown, at 2,247 square feet. And they have planned openings in New York, Los Angeles, Beijing, and Shanghai in the coming months. But that is all just beginning because the physical store is where it's at. And they're piloting a new music offering from Mood Media that allows customers to interact with the store playlist at any given time. That sounds dangerous. But you can interact with the store's playlist at any given time. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. But again, what is really playing out there is that physical retail, in person, in real life, is where it's at, people. In real life is where it is at. And so I can't stress that enough. Your store matters. The people with all the money, the people with all the investment money and money to spend are investing in physical retail because it matters. Okay, and that is where things are happening. So don't forget that. Don't let Silencio Bruno silence that voice in your head that says, I don't know if brick and mortar is a thing anymore. Well, brick and mortar is a thing. Look at all the big guys and all the money they're pouring into to brick and mortar. Speaking of which, Ulta, we knew that Ulta was going to be opening stores inside Target. And this August, the first locations will be opening up. the Ulta Shop in a Shop will start hitting stores nationwide in August. They're going to open a total of 800. And the initial rollout will start with 100 stores. 100 stores are part of the initial rollout. This was announced last year. Take up about 1,000 square feet of space inside Target stores. And they see it as Ulta sees it as a real complement to their full service stores. And Target sees it as upscaling their selection. So this is a win-win. And again, it's all about physical retail, in-person physical retail. So that is huge. This was an interesting topic, okay? And especially it's near and dear to our resale industry. Sustainability. Okay, retailers have been talking about it. Okay, you see all these things with partnerships with ThredUp. You see how they're reducing packaging. You see how they're getting more eco-friendly in their stores. So retailers know that sustainability is important. Well, at this point, is not a choice. But shoppers, well, it's less clear. According to a recent Harris poll, Americans are split, who's surprised, on whether it's crucial for retailers to be sustainable, meaning they consider the environmental and social impact of doing business. More than half, 54% of those surveys said it's important, while 46% said no, and probably rolled their eyes. 2/3 of millennials and Gen Zers fell into the first camp, compared to 55% of Gen Xers and 42% of boomers. So a majority across the board felt retailers need to make greener efforts. And 53% of those who don't even think sustainability is essential would still buy a sustainable product if they saw one. Among the roadblocks to buying green, the biggest is spending that green. That's the thing. That's the thing, people. Almost half, 46%, said higher prices are the main reason why they're opting out. Plus, only 30% of shoppers make the effort to seek out sustainable goods. Okay? 7 in 10 of those certified, you see that all the time in the real world, too. You see, the most vivid example of that is somebody who's, out there touting, you have to be green, you have to do this, you have to recycle, you have to do all this. It's all about the environment. And then they get into their Suburban or their, Ford Explosion, these supersized gas guzzling vehicles instead of a Prius. Or even better than both a Prius or a, Ford Expedition would be a 10-year-old car, okay, that, is living that car's life. But I digress. 7 of 10 in the survey said they're more likely to buy a product if it's marketed as sustainable. And some labels make a difference. And this part is interesting as well. All natural and eco-friendly hold the most sway. Well, this is all natural. Okay? But this is eco-friendly. Those two terms hold the most sway. Well, only about a quarter paid carbon neutral any notice. Yeah, what the heck is carbon neutral on a product? You want to see that your thing is carbon neutral. That's not what they want to. Eco-friendly or all natural are the marketing terms. Most Americans, 52% at this point, pack reusable totes to shop sustainably, which is more likely a result of plastic bag bans. And about a third, and as for secondhand, across demographics, about a third of shoppers buy via resale. So about a third, which has been holding steady, but we're gaining ground. We're gaining ground in that category. as the big guys make it more real for people. Okay, as it's more in people's faces, like we talked about Madewell last night, having those areas in their store with the pre-loved jeans. Okay, those sections are making resale more mainstream, and that's good for all of us in the industry. That is ultimately good for all of us. But ultimately, don't let the environment get in the way of 2-day, 1-day, or same-day shipping. More than half of the respondents, 56%, said faster delivery supersedes shopping sustainably. For some miscellaneous stats on that, last year the United States produced a record 407 billion square feet of corrugated materials as e-commerce exploded. And last mile delivery emissions were predicted to jump 30% across 100 cities worldwide by 2030. By 2030, according to a study. I think it's going to be higher than that. Well, I think some of the. You think Albuquerque is going back to no shopping bags soon? We haven't done it where my stores are. Connecticut is headed that way. Massachusetts is a ways behind, but it is coming. It is something that's coming. Cassandra's really good at remembering the bags. We always have the bags in the car. I'm better at remembering it when I'm at the checkout, and I'll just carry my stuff out and put it in one of the bags that's in the car. So I won't buy a bag. Is the way it goes. Great to have you here, Kelly. Great to have you here. Facebook's being weird with who it's letting comment, who it's not, and what's going on with that. So I apologize for that. But it is great to have you here. Searches on Google for this are up 50% from 2020. This surprised me that it was up this much from 2020 after a year of shopping online during 2020, that the search for the term discount code and a website or a company are up 50% since 2020. That's a lot, especially during the first part of 2020. We're only doing a half year's worth of data, and to say that you're up, that term, using that term is up 50%, is a significant jump. That's a significant jump. So I'm a little surprised by that. But it is interesting and worth noting and being aware of. Again, knowledge is power, people. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. What else? Oh, so a topic that I have been hit with a lot in the last week or so, and that I've had a lot of conversations on, and it caught me off guard because I thought I've talked about this enough, but people have reached out to me about it, and it deals with staffing and staff burnout, and it's store hours. Store hours are days of operation. Okay, store hours and store operation. And, I had some people afraid to talk to me about it because they're like, oh, well, Neil's going to be, we should be open 7 days a week. We should be open our pre-pandemic hours at least and everything else. And I thought I've been pretty vocal about, that we have not returned to our pre-pandemic hours. We are still cutting 2 hours a day from our schedule, from our hours of operation. And that isn't because demand isn't there. Demand is back. We could be open later. From a business perspective, from a serving our customers correctly perspective, we should be open our normal hours, our pre-pandemic hours. Okay, that would be the right thing to do. Okay, from a customer-centric point of view. And I believe we've been talking about being customer-centric and having your operation centered around the customer, because that's what you need to grow, continue to grow. But the other thing you need is you need a strong team. Okay, you need a strong team. You need to be able to breathe. You need to be able to survive. And the reality is, in today's labor market for a lot of people, and just in general right now, because you don't know who's having a full moon moment in your store, okay, giving everybody the grace of a little bit of breathing room, and 2 hours in our case probably doesn't sound like a lot, but covering it, stretching our team that little bit more, stretching our team that little bit extra is a lot. So we have maintained our that hour change. Our goal is to be back at our pre-pandemic hours by September, but I want to be staffed up more before we do that. I want to be in a little bit stronger staffing position. And I'm not, for our size operation, I'm talking another 3 or 4 people, which I'm told we hired one today, which is great. So that makes us 2 to 3 more people that would put us in a good, strong position to grow our way out of this and to serve our customers well, okay, without burning out our team. Okay, you are no good to your community if you are burned out. Your team is no good to you if they are burned out or stressed out. And so if you are still working on pandemic hours, that's okay. Okay, you should be working towards not doing that, okay, to a time where you can resume your hours, okay, and be there for your customers. Yeah, I mean, exactly, Kelly. And I want to hear your team. I do. And so that may mean that somebody else gets that hour. Okay, that somebody that's not on your current team that you hire for that, but that might affect other members of your team's overall hours. It doesn't make more money for payroll. And so, we have to cover the store. We have to be there for our customers, because that is why our business exists. Our business exists to serve the community, to serve the needs of our customers, not our own needs. Okay, so the way you have a growing business is to serve the need of your customers, not your own first. And so we have to look at a pathway that gets you back to normal. And I'm hoping that this fall gets us back to normal. And so that is my goal. I've said it. We've told anybody we've hired. We've reminded current staff that we plan on doing it. I actually have several team managers that are like, okay, let's rip the Band-Aid off and do it, because they know when they close early that there's customers, they're there counting the drawer, doing something, and there's customers trying to get in. They know there's demand. And I know there's demand. I mean, I'm well aware of it. But I don't want to have the burnout effect. And so many people have had that with their staff that are just burning out and quit. They love what they do, but they're burnt out, and that's why they're quitting. And so I don't want that for you. I don't want that for my team. I want you to love on your team, but I also want you to be respectful of the needs of your customers. So working on a plan, like in your example, Kelly, where they're not ready to add that back in, you got to be working on a plan that works up to serving your customers and adding that back in for the needs of the customers. That has to be worked towards a plan. And even in our world, I've mapped it out. It's like, even when we add those couple hours back in, we won't be busy during those couple hours, because there's enough people that know that we haven't been doing that. So it'll take some time to grow that business back to any level, but there is demand. There is demand. But it's been a hard year and a half for people. It's been a hard 70, 71 weeks. And you have to honor that. And so that's okay. But I want you to be working on a plan that gets you back to normal. okay? Because we're headed that way, and the expectation of your customers that way. And I don't want your customers to then go choose someplace else because you're not there to serve them. And I've said the same with the hour reduction or a day of the week. To me, it's the same. You close an hour, you have an hour less every day, you close one day a week. Whichever, and everybody's doing a combination of that, okay? Everyone is doing a combination of that. I've seen endless combinations of that happening out there. And that's fine. That's fine. I've seen, there are plenty of combinations of that. Either there's no right or wrong with whether you went from 7 days to 6 or 6 days to 5, or you just kept the same number of days open, but you reduced your hours. It's all the same. It's all okay. I just want you to start working towards a plan where you can be open more. Okay? Because I want you to get there. I want you to get there. And I want to get there. I want to get there. And that's, so we're staffing up for it in advance of that. And knowing that and dealing with that training cost, developing that team so that we don't have any issues with it. And that's how we're handling it. But I didn't want to, but I've had that conversation so many times in the last week, 10 days, and during the virtual networking, that I'm like, we need to talk about that. We need to talk about that because I want to be clear that it's okay. I'm not riding anybody for that. I'm doing it, and I know it's costing me sales. I'm doing it, but I'm doing that to make sure that all the great people that I have remain great people and don't get. Can you do that? Imagine puffy hair. Imagine puffy hair. There's a visual for you. Puffy hair on Neil. Okay, I don't want you sitting on that visual too long. You know what else? This video and everything I talk about goes over to narts.org/resale strong by noon the next day. Everything. The files, the links, everything. A direct link to the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store, where you can like, comment, subscribe, and yes, you can ring that bell on there so that you know when a new video drops. You can also share it with all your friends in business, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, so that we can help everybody make it to the other side. I'm here live in the Narts private Facebook group and streaming on YouTube every night at more 8 than ish. But if you have a question in between, you just email me, Neil, Neil at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com. We start this program every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. If you were not here at the top of the program, our Good Morning tonight on page 60. Good morning, friendos. Make good choices. Listen to your inside voices. Our good night tonight is good night, friendos. Make good choices. Live your life and raise your voices. There's your graphics, folks. Big megaphone there. Nobody would give me a big megaphone. Nobody. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah even, a party that I need a megaphone for. I don't know. We will party again. We will party in person. And when we do, I'm going to be there with you. But until then, and until tomorrow night at more 8 than ish, know that you, but most importantly you, yes you, you're not alone running this store. Have a great night, everybody. It's time for dessert.